You're about to listen to a story that burrows into your mind like a leech. A Circumflex Euro's one of those tales you can't shake off no matter how hard you try. A detective, someone who's seen the deepest pits of humanity, caught in a snare so tight he wonders if he'll ever breathe free air again. It all began with a morning as grey and heavy as a funeral shroud. A Circumflex Euro's thick dark coffee that tasted like ashes, a desk cold as a grave. Time dragging its feet like it was in no hurry to meet the day. But as he went through the motions of another day, something felt off, like a piano wire tugging at his nerves, humming with tension. Phone call shattered that fragile tranquility like glass breaking against concrete. A voice so calm and collected it sent shivers down his spine. Detective James, you're needed at crime scene B7. Stepping into the building was like walking into an ambush. The air felt thick with anticipation, the corridors echoing his steps in a hollow cadence that made him want to look over his shoulder. When he finally reached the scene of the crime, something didn't sit right. The victim was just another faceless statistic. A Circumflex Euro's nobody important. But as Detective James scanned the area, evidence pinned him like an insect in a collector's case. His fingerprints smeared on the murder weapon, a witness recounting how they had seen him at the very spot where blood painted the ground crimson. Felt like he'd been punched in the gut, unable to inhale through the pain. This couldn't be happening. A Circumflex Euro's not to James, of all people. A man dedicated to justice, caught in its crosshairs. He was good, he was kind, and here he was staring into the face of betrayal. The investigation that followed felt like a living nightmare. A Circumflex Euro's each clue nailing him further, until he was backed into a corner with no escape route in sight. His own team began questioning his innocence, whispers of doubt creeping into their voices like venomous snakes. James found himself the most wanted man in town. A Circumflex Euro's the city's boogeyman, with nowhere to hide. One sleepless night, while the world slumbered innocently, James dove deep into old case files that crinkled under his fingers in the dimly lit office. He uncovered a connection so twisted it made his heart race. A Circumflex Euro's a link between him and the murder for which he was framed. Now, the truth threatened to rip through the veil. But this wasn't just about clearing his name anymore. It was about unraveling the sinister web that sought to destroy everything he held dear. Each revelation felt like tugging at an unraveling thread, unsure where it would lead. A Circumflex Euro's into a maze with no exit, or perhaps to liberation. And then, in a moment as sharp and brutal as shattered glass, everything blew wide open. The truth detonated. A Circumflex Euro's louder than gunfire, more shocking than any murder scene he'd ever witnessed. It turned his world upside down, fracturing reality into a million jagged shards. But let's pause here. James went from being the solver of mysteries to becoming the enigma himself, and the city held its collective breath, waiting to see what would come next in a story that felt like it was still being written. A Circumflex Euro's every chapter more twisted and dangerous than the last. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get the latest news.